Your garage is boring compared to mine. Welcome back to the channel. In this episode 2 of building a twin engine Mark V for Fiesta converted into a pickup. It's starting to be a mouthful, isn't it? But anyway, in this episode we've got our first donor car. We've got the first engine to go in our twin engine Fiesta, and this is going to be for the rear first, of course. That's where all the fun is at. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the donor car. I've actually picked up for really cheap. They normally go for like 2-3 times the price, and you'll see why. But all the damage to it is literally the stuff we don't care about. Only 85,000 miles, so pretty sweet. So our donor car, if you cannot tell, is basically a Ford Puma, the first generation before they turned them into SUVs. It has a fair amount of cosmetic damage, but the tires on it are all actually better than they are on Fiesta. The roof looks like it's from a TGV. The antenna is, you know, dodgy at best. The front is not actually too bad. We do have a few bits and bobs flapping around. One grey mirror, one normal. Seems to have been replaced, but look at that. I mean, at least that one. Got proper patina. Few stickers, a lot of stickers. I'm not sure why here, because there is no holes in there. But yeah, overall, not bad at all. Obviously, even the wiper at the rear. We've got a little thingy bob. One owner from new this car, believe it or not. Got the keys, let's unlock it. There we go. Beautiful door card. You can see. A bit of grime on the seat. You can see that a lot of fart have been done on this one. Not so much on this one. You can see the door card, basically the same stuff is happening over there. Safety stuff. On the rear I haven't really explored yet, so we can explore together. I haven't actually checked the boot. Lovely. But you know, the main bit is you get in, put the keys. To start with, look how much fuel we've got. 3/4 of a fuel tank. As to the price guesses, it's pretty sweet. Lovely gear shift that we definitely want going to put in Fiesta, and starts perfect. Okay, so I mean, no point of wasting time. I'm going to start stripping the engine bay, lift it up, get rid of the fuel, and start removing everything. I'm going to label everything because it's me and I'm no specialist. Don't get fooled by the garage after Beardchanics. Also, we are technically in a garage. So, well, on the driveway. Anyway, let's get to it. Quite interesting airbox system. So let's use the airbox. It was on the side like that, but then this piece actually go over the passenger wheel. It's basically like that in here. So set up like that. So basically it go and collect air behind the wheel. Okay, so radiator is out. I think aircon, I might be able to just leave it in. I think the only stuff that connected to the rest is the air conditioning pump, which means we'll probably need a new belt, and I need to get a water pump as well. Might as well do it. So I don't know whether to shove it straight away in or not. It would be nice to take the gearbox out to actually weld the diff as well. But whether I do that the first time, putting it in or not, I'm not decided yet. Alright, past 9 PM now, but still have some lights. That's what's nice in the summer. Power steering pump disconnected from the block. Everything else basically I've just checked underneath. There is still, those guys are hard as hell. Put some WD-40, but yeah, there is a fuse that go to the fuse box I need to unhook, and then basically it's just the manifold. I did manage to remove one, the other one is hard as hell, so as you can see it's wet from WD-40. Hopefully they'll come out tomorrow. I don't really care about keeping that, so worst case scenario I'll chop it, but it would be nice to remove it and see, because it's in two parts. The top one that connect to the catalyst are actually easier to access, so if I can remove those, then we can leave the manifold on and just pull it. All the bolt at the top came out, so it should separate from the catalyst, the manifold. So on this side, all I have left is basically underneath, sort out the gearbox linkage, detach that, and I've started basically pulling the loom out as well. And essentially now I'm tackling the dashboard, so obviously we need the ECU in there, but ideally we need all the barrel and everything, so everything start nice and good. But yeah, looks like it's riveted in, so yeah, do that removal. There we go. That's the dash. It's getting messy in here. Got the barrel out already installed on Pesta, as well as a little thing where there is the security stuff. Works fine on Pesta. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to take the seat out, remove all the carpet. Same for the rear to get to the exhaust. The door there. Unfortunately there is no plug, but I don't think there is anything I need in the doors. So I think what I'll do is I'll just chop this cable from the doors, and then when I redo the wiring I'll be able to just remove all those cable out. Alright, starting to make my way to the back. And here what I'm doing is I'm collecting all of those because they fit Pesta as well. So basically we'll get some nice, get all of those guys, and then we can reuse them in Pesta to actually route the cables nicely as well. The back, so we've got all the loom pretty much sorted. Here I just need to drop the fuel tank so I can empty it and then unbuild that. And then I think I should be able to extract all of the loom. And here we go, the fuel tank is dropped. That was a pain, there was one corner. I had to use a Dremel to cut the bolt. I had to chop the exhaust out of the way as well. Now I'm starting to pull. I'm going to pull out all of the fuel hard line, that way I can reuse them in Pesta. And until I got a second engine, I can reuse this fuel tank. And what I might see is if I can fit it in the front. I'll basically do a reverse, have the engine at the rear, and basically this underneath the bonnet. That's the loom with all the inside and all that jazz. Just needs that one to pull out now, but I have now got access to the ECU, so it's just unplugging the ECU, and then basically whatever leftover cable goes towards the front. And we go, the loom are out, engine bay on ECU, the rest of the car. Gear linkage removed. And remove the stuff that attach the gearbox to the rest. I still have one bolt that is a pain in the neck, but and what I realized when I was underneath as well is obviously I need to detach the wheel from the engine, otherwise I'm going to pull on the wheel, are going to still be attached. Okay, done for the day. I need to look up how to remove those shaft thing. And also, if I remember well, we've got front Puma brake at the rear of Pesta, but at the front we still have 1.3 liter Fiesta brake, so I'm going to transfer those brake to Pesta as well. That way he'll have nice brake all around, and tomorrow I'll be able to do that. On the wheel, even though they're not looking that great, they do feel lighter. The rubber are better. They are 15 instead of 14, and they're 195 instead of 185. So I think I'm just going to switch the wheel overs. They won't be long-term wheel, and I'll paint them black anyway, which, you know, they don't really care about the design. And look at the difference. That's the front tire. The tire that were on Pesta. And even the inside. Ooh. And this is gross as well, but you know, compared to that, less gross. Alright, today's another day. In the end, I didn't chop those after a bit of rest, because this morning I didn't get much done. I had to sort out all the subtitles on the previous video for all the 5 people that watch it in a different language, and for the everybody watching it in English but not understanding a word I'm saying. But I think now I just need to pop this bloody guy out so I can hammer that in and get that out. But yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. The rest actually came okay. Got more WD-40 because my old can had no pressure in it, but yeah. Well, I did not swap the engine today, but got those bastards out. Spent so much time, so ages trying. Like I tried so much on this one that actually the stuff that is plugged in, as you can see, is removed already. And you can see from underneath, it's not even flush anymore. When it is on the other side, spent hours on this bastard, but finally got it out. And then when I was done with that, I'm like, oh cool, let's start on the other one. The other one, I barely moved it up, it popped out easily. But now that's it. We are all done. There is nothing left connected to that engine. The shafts are gone, the gearbox linkage is done, and all that good stuff. So tomorrow, tomorrow is literally just about pulling the engine out and putting it into Pesta. At least it was worth it though, because in the end I got the brake out as well, so I'll be able to swap Pesta front brake with those one, and essentially Pesta will have 4 disc brake like that, or essentially 4 front Puma brake. Should be plenty to stop. Today is the day where this engine is going to go in this car. As you can see, I've put 2 rats on the car park at the front, that way I won't have to switch too many cars, because I've got to get this out, this back in. Cool, I've got the S3 out as well, but it's too much work with the crap on it. So yeah, I just have to bring this down. The wheels are back on. I have to pull it out, put it to the side, get Pesta out, put this guy back in, jack it up again, attach the engine, drop it, remove it, and then do the swap again, but in reverse. We will need Pesta's butt to get in first. But
yeah, should be fun.
The dodgy part of this episode has officially started. Rope. There we go. So I'm removing this guy here, which makes this guy drop. I'll remove the 4 plate there. I don't think I need to remove that. I think the whole plate will go. We should see, and we'll see how strong the wheel is. But you know, no mate, nobody can lend me a hoist either, so I'll just do it all by myself. There we go, that's one way to do it. I just don't want to pay for more parking spots. I still have an hour of parking, so I need that stuff out. But yeah, I've just chop and put it out. You know, once we've got it out, we can figure out how to put it back in. Right, Puma is out, Pesta is in, as you can see. We are not quite clearing the back yet. But yeah, like I said, you know, now can work a bit more. Kind of want to take the manifold anyway. We don't want to have to fit it in with that cap. I mean, normally I've removed all the screws there, so the catalyst should detach from the rest, because the manifold itself is no big deal. But yeah, now it's raising that high enough that it clear Pesta, and then it's 180 and drop it back into position. Yes, these are a bit more flat. One crazy idea I had: put a rope around all those ropes, attach it to the roof rack of turret, drive turret forward, it will move that crap that way, which, you know, will raise this. Alright, here goes nothing, so I think to start with it's going to tighten up the nut. That on its own should raise it higher as the rope on each side get closer, and then furthermore, but at least when they're all close together it will be easier to rotate, in the theory at least. Alright, we are not in a bad place. Here I can probably manage with the jack. You can see this is actually a bit loose now. It wasn't actually pulling on the car anymore. So now it's just those guys taking the strength again. Whew. Not bad. To think we'll have to get rid of that gearbox as well. welding the gearbox is going to be difficult though, because Rob doesn't really want to do it, and because basically on those, because it's a front wheel drive, you've got to open up the whole gearbox to be able to get to the diff. So what I might do is maybe look at gearbox specialist, which should be able to open and close this quickly, and then if I can find one that is happy to take it on. Yeah, because it's essentially doing the same job as putting a LSD in, but you don't have to buy a LSD, and LSD are very expensive, so yeah, but apparently it needs to be done properly, otherwise your gearbox doesn't last. But hey, it'll be fine. It's in, guys. Look at that. It's beautiful. I didn't want to stress myself with the shaft. Now I know how to pop them from the wheel. I can always, pop them out, shoving them that way. It was easier than trying to pop them in as I was dropping it all. We still have that guy as well, but at the same time, not a big deal. The exhaust will point down, so it's good enough. But yeah, enjoyments are all in, and nicely. This is mega flexible. Later down the line, I think we might look to see whether we can find less one. I still have the little arm here to put back as well, otherwise it's a bit yeah, those are so flexible, look at that. It's more of an engine swing than an engine hoist mount, but yeah, not bad. So now, yeah, like I said, shove that bar, shove the two stuff in, can start thinking about the wiring and stuff. Coolant, as I like to bring it to the front, I think I might need to get a couple of pipe, because basically that's our one here, our main one there, and then we've got coolant expansion tank as well, but that might be able to go at the front. I don't know, we'll see. I'll need to get a different size belt, because now we've lost air con and we've also lost power steering, and the power steering actually came with yet another pulley, so actually 3 pulleys that have been removed. That's where I need my Ford knowledge base, also known as AID, from Rally Sport Engineering. Yeah, so basically I am going to need to order a belt, but it's bloody in. It's bloody in. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Actually a fair amount of room. It's a bit of a shame actually, it's slightly offset, so my idea of having 4 pipes pointing up like that, if they were, they wouldn't be centered at the back. So actually if we want them, they might need to go like that, get into the middle, then pop out. But anyway, that's later down the line. I'm actually going to have a small break. I've been doing this since 8 AM on, I don't know where you are, but in Essex this weekend it's been absolutely boiling. Alright, back at it. You know what I did during my break? I did some work, my real work. Yeah, so basically now, taking those guys out, I'm going to switch with the brake, much cleaner anyway. Look, those ones are nasty. The thingy bob is not attached properly in there. And yeah, see, look, that's snapped on as well. Those are much better. Yeah, and I'll basically switch the wheels as well, so that we're on 15-inch everywhere. Oh, and I've removed the little arm here, which is basically go that arm there, so that basically, it's not on the swing anymore. The one taken out compared to the one going back in. Yeah, much cleaner. And look, this look even smaller. I don't know if it's just corrosion or what, but I didn't treat those, but it'll be alright. But yeah, I had a nightmare popping this guy out because basically I had to go with the grinder and stuff. This guy there was threaded like mad. And this is the bolt. But I'll take the one out of that and put them in. They were much cleaner. But yeah, at least those guys are going back in. And there we go. Both shaft back in. I'll need to sort out a little stuff to go on there because I've removed them. And then I need to have a look like the stock tensioner can go on there. I think I was looking at the wrong spot, but I had check because obviously still have the engine that was in Fiesta before, which is the same config. So at least I don't have a pulley to get. Only showed me the belt I needed, so I've already ordered the belt. Alright, well, anyway guys, I'm going to stop this episode here and basically start straight away onto the next this evening. But yeah, I'm going to look into wiring the engine. There is some pipes like those two that normally went in the firewall, which I think are for the heating. So there is quite few bits and bobs I either need to figure out what it is, either block it, delete it, loop them, route them, whatever. We've got a lot to do. Hold the fuel pump, put the fuel tank at the front, etc, etc, etc. But crossed fingers, maybe in the next episode we'll be able to actually run it, which is pretty exciting. Anyway, thank you for watching. If it's your first time here and you watch this, subscribe, go watch the rest. This is, you know, quite a mad project. I also have, I don't know if you can see it, there is also a rad project somewhere. This is the stuff. You got the S3 underneath there, and there is a bike engine there, which took a bit of a back burner now that Fiesta is here and my focus is on that, but that I need to sort out basically the ECU. So I'm still waiting to see if somebody can tune it for me. If my mate can't, I need to find somebody else basically that can tune it, and then I still need to sort out the room at home, so I actually have room to fit a Micra as well in here, and we still have an MX-5 on a Toyota Lucid to bring home, so yeah, busy time. Anyway, bye. This now we've got a garage swing. Now it breaks. Until it's not straight, but you know. Hey, hey. Hey. Your garage is boring compared to mine. Oh, got to celebrate somehow, you know. So happy.